DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. I want to talk about our use of time. I just bought this digital clock that I put on the wall in my home office, and I think it's going to be one of the best purchases that I made this year. And this is like a $50 digital clock. Comes with a remote control. It can do a countdown, it can do a count up, tells you the temperature, the date, the time. It's a nice size clock. You can see it from all the way across the room. And the reason that I bought this clock is so that I can better be cognizant of time and how I'm using time. It's not really about managing time, because I talked about this in a couple of reels that I've done, and also in some of my courses and programs in Work on Your Game University. There's no such thing as managing time. You can't manage time. Time moves at a steady, consistent pace, no matter what you do, no matter what I do. So there's no such thing as managing your time. How are you going to manage something that just goes at a steady pace no matter what happens? Time is the most consistent thing known to man, so you don't have to manage it. The thing that needs to be managed is the person. So anytime you say time management, what you really mean is self-management and self-accountability. So when I bought that clock, reason why I'm happy that I bought that clock and my use of that clock and the timers and all that stuff, so I can put timers on myself, so I know if I got this task that I'm about to do and it should take me 20 minutes, I can set the timer for 20 minutes and I can see the number right there in front of me counting down. 19, 18 is counting down every minute how much time I have left to get this task done and be complete and move on to the next thing. That's self-management. That's not time management. The time is always the same. It's just me making myself more aware of the time so that I'm managing myself properly. You get what I'm saying? And this is what you need to be doing when it comes to your use of time. So the next time you use the phrase time management, and I understand why people use it, I will even use it sometimes. And there's a good book. Dan Kennedy wrote a book on time management for entrepreneurs. It's a really good book. And I like the book. And even he understands that time management is really an oxymoronic thing to say. That's something that I tell my audiences all the time. Because again, as I just explained to you, it always moves at a steady pace regardless of your activity. It's what we do with the time that really needs to be managed. So the activities that you're doing on a daily basis, and many of you, especially entrepreneurs, actually, if you work professionally in a business as well, you understand that there are certain activities that you do every single day, right? Regardless of what's happening, there are certain things you might have. Some of you might have 5 or 6, some of you might have 10 or 20. You do the same activities every single day regardless. Every time you go to work, these activities all have to be done. You should take stock of how much time does each activity take, how long should each activity take, and document that. So then every day when you're doing your work, you know, all right, I got 10 minutes to do this. I got this to do, and this should take 15. This is going to take 20. This is going to take 5 minutes. This is going to take 30 minutes. And then you can take stock of your entire day. How much time is left after you do all these activities? How much time do you have left after all these things that you do on a daily basis? Or if there's not enough time left after you do all those activities, you're like, all right, doing all of this takes 8 hours and I only got 8 hours to work, but then I still have all these other tasks and projects to get done. Well, there's a problem there. Now the question becomes, all right, what do I need to change? Can I take this activity that takes 30 minutes and can I get it done in 20? Can I take this 15-minute activity and delegate this or completely eliminate it to where I don't need to do this task at all anymore, period? You may need to ask yourself some tough questions based on your calculations. But if you don't sit there and calculate how much time is this actually taking, then you might be like in business, for example. Actually, let me just say it first. You might be going time broke. You might be going broke time-wise and not even realize that it's happening. This happens sometimes in business, is that you're spending a certain amount of money, you got a certain amount of money coming in, but you're not really watching it, you're not really doing the math on it, and you don't even realize it, but your business is going bankrupt, your business is going broke, and you don't even realize it because you're not doing enough calculations mathematically as to what is actually working and how much things are actually costing. And then when you finally do the math and realize what's going on, you're like, damn, my business is not making any money here. We're actually losing money by the day, and the more we do, the more money we lose. And until you do that math, you don't even realize it's happening. And sometimes people don't realize it until it's too late. You could be doing the exact same thing with your time. And actually, as a matter of fact, this happens with time more than it happens with money, because money can be replenished. You could be in a bad situation money-wise, losing money by the day, but you can make some adjustments, fix that, and be back to making money in a very short period of time. On the other hand, when it comes to time cannot be replenished. So if you are losing time by the bushel every single day, there's no quick fix for changing that situation. Actually, there is a quick fix for changing that situation, but the time that you have already lost can't be made back. That's the difference. You can't just go and do some things and, all right, so I lost $25,000 last month. I can make $50,000 this month. So basically undo what I lost last month. You can do that with money. You can't do that with time. If you lost a whole 6 months to a project that you shouldn't have been working on in the first place, you can't just get that 6 months of time back. That 6 months is gone forever. You get what I'm saying here? So time is actually a lot more valuable than the money is. So this is why you need to do your calculations. How much time is this actually taking me? How much time is this going to continue to take me? Does it make sense for me to keep making this time investment in this thing that I'm doing? And if the answer is no, then how can I get rid of it? What do I need to do to get rid of it? How can I replace it? How can I delegate it? How can I offload this to something or someone else besides myself? You need to be asking yourself these questions so that you're not catching yourself stuck in the same situation, running out of your most valuable resource, which is your time. Because again, you can't just go get this back, and you can't do something that makes it back. You can do that with money. You cannot do that with time. So start tracking your time. Track your time. See how much time each task that you are doing is taking. Calculate how much time it should be taking, because human beings, we are very inefficient. We're often lazy, especially when we're not being very vigilant about how we're using our time. We end up wasting time or using time much more, the word is escaping me, but using time much more than we need to be. Just very flippant with our use of time. And being that we all have a limited amount of it, we should pay more attention to that than we even do to money. Because money, again, you can be losing it and make a whole bunch back. Time, you can't do that. That time lost is gone forever, no matter what you do, no matter how much money you have. So start tracking your time, pay attention to it, have a time budget, and make sure that every minute of time that you spend is producing an equitable return on investment. And when it's not, you need to demand yourself to make immediate adjustments to that use of time. With that said, Work on Your Game University. That's the place where I do all my coaching. If you would like to work with me directly, just come to the university. That's workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where we have a 4-part framework based around mindset, strategy, systems, and accountability. And we work with people who are top level performers or those who are angling to be. And our program we work with people with online businesses, offline businesses, coaching businesses, training businesses, clothing businesses, food business, coaches, authors, speakers. We work with so many different people because our frameworks are based around principles. Those principles are universal principles. They work with anything and anyone, and they are unchanging, they are unbending. Doesn't matter if the times change, the industry changes, the person changes, those principles always apply. So workonyourgameuniversity.com. Links down below in the description to this video. Work on your game. Dre all